Welcome to my review of the Innova Aviar putter. Since the Classic Aviar and the Aviar putt and approach use the same mold, this review covers both models. Similar to how the JK Pro Aviar and the KC Pro Aviar both use the big bead Aviar driver mold, but they come in different plastics, these two models use the same beadless mold, but they use different plastic types as well. The mold used for the Aviar Classic as well as putt and approach models was first approved in 1984 and became Innova's most popular putter ever. The difference between the Aviar Classic and the Aviar putt and approach is that the Aviar Classic has a slightly stiffer DX base plastic than what the Aviar putt and approach uses, although to be honest you can't tell much of a difference between them. That said, this is slightly stiffer. Also, this retro stamp is only included on the Classic model. They otherwise use the same mold with the same specifications in every other area except for the flexibility, and that denotes how stiff the plastic is used. These are very beginner-friendly discs, and they can be used to train putting as well as how to learn how to throw and shape shots. As beadless putters, these are a little bit less stable than the big bead Aviars, which are used more for a variety of throws as well as drives off the tee. Now I'm going to talk about my history with these putters and why I use them as my putting putter as well as for some short range throws within about 100 feet. This right here is the very first disc golf disc that I ever purchased, and I bought it from a local disc golf shop only 1 month after I started playing. I use this mold more than any other disc, and it's my putting putter, and it's also my short range throwing putter. As such, I practice putting and approaches with it and the other ones in my side yard, and I've probably putted and thrown these more than any other disc. I buy these primarily in a DX plastic because of the price. I can buy a lot for relatively cheap, and it's not too soft, it's decently durable, and it's pretty grippy, so at least for what I need, and they do beat in nicely over time. They don't really change at all inside the circle. For example, that stack, including these, I've had for a couple years, and they fly essentially the same as the first day I bought, anytime, anywhere within that circle. By the time you get close to circle 2, there might be a difference, but honestly I still can't tell. And I've beaten some of these more than the others. In fact, the dark purple ones that you see that I'm pointing to are the ones I use the most, and they've worn in the most. And at most, they introduce a little bit more off-axis torque than maybe a brand new one, but they're all putt roughly the same. I do also think that these make a great putter pack. Even if you don't get them in a deal, you can tend to buy a lot of these, like 5 or 10 at a time, and pay only shipping, and I still think that's a pretty decent deal. And you might even consider buying the X-Out models, which are essentially factory suck-ins with slight physical blemishes, mostly for appearance sake, not really in the shape per se, and they usually put in, like a stamp to denote that these are your factory suck-in or X-Out models, and that makes them cheaper. They usually save like $1 or $2 per disc, and honestly no one really cares what your putting putters look like. Lastly, the Aviar Classic is only available in this particular stiff DX base plastic type. However, the putt and approach model comes in practically every plastic type Innova has ever made, and particularly the ones I show on screen are the ones that they came out the most. And I do want to say, if you want to use this as more than a putting putter, as a short range putter, or if you want a primary putter in a more durable plastic, you should consider something tougher than DX, which is basically every other plastic type they sell. Either a mid-grade plastic like XT or R Pro, or one of your more premium plastics like G Star, Star, or Champion. Those would make the best throwing plastic types. Now let me talk about the pros and cons of this putter. They are very straight and neutral with regard to their flight. They're extremely point and shoot. They are the perfect training and practice putter in my opinion, and they have a very good speed and decent glide, so it carries pretty far with little effort. This thin rim that it has also does not skip very far. So when it hits the ground, it doesn't, catapult like maybe a larger rimmed putter might, or like an approach disc. And this is the most popular putter ever produced by Innova. And it's one of the all-time most popular putters ever sold. I also think it's one of the easiest putters to purchase because of its popularity should you ever lose yours, or you just want to buy additionals for putting practice and throwing practice. Also, as I've said before, it comes in basically every plastic type that Innova makes. The cons, well, it's definitely a middle of the road putter. In other words, you can find other putters that are faster or slower, more or less glidey, or they're more or less stable. These are straight, they're easy to understand, but they do not correct errors in your throw or your putt. Other putters can go farther, with the same amount of effort, like the Innova Dart, for example, and others can go slower, like the Polecat or the Birdie, or discs from other manufacturers. But that is going to do it. Let's go ahead and take a look at some putting and throwing video.
Oh, turn that over bad.
Well, it's still on playable ground.
I'm throwing in the deep grass.
Yeah. Hey, made it 150. There we go. Oh my God, I think that's farther than your dart went.
I think you did.
I think we've unleashed a monster. Bye-bye.
Hey, that's where I landed earlier with my judge.
That's close to where I did, the other way. Goodness. Sean's definitely the putter thrower master here in this group. Alrighty, max distance throw with an Aviar.
Oh, it turned over. Still good throw.
I'm happy with it. I'm just gonna use my Aviar.
Look at you with the putt.
Woo. Oh my goodness, Sean. Look at that.
Oh, shit,
Right
I overthrew it a little
behind
bit.
it. Yeah, but like what, 2 feet? I mean, it may be 3 feet back on the ground, but it was 2 feet from the basket. Oh boy. I'm not nearly as close as Sean. Oh, too far. To the right. Let's go.
Ah.
Oh, you got that.
Easy putt. Oh.
Gave it a run. Ah, safe putt though. Oh, I tried.
Not from a lack of trying.
Yeah.
Jesus, boy. There you go. Walk in the park for you.
That's it for my review of Innova's Aviar putter. Yes, I'm biased towards this putter. The first time I held it in my hands, I knew it was the one that I wanted, and since then I've bought at least 10 more. I putt with these in every game. I do all my putting practice with them. I love its straight and predictable flight, and I love the feel of its baseline plastic, and I never have issues with the grip regardless of the weather. I have issues with my putting, but that's the archer, not the arrow. But I do completely trust these putters, and I never feel like they are the ones that let me down, only that I didn't use them properly. I can putt with anything, but I choose specifically these putters because they feel great and they fly and putt like I want them to. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share if you'd like others to check out my channel. One other thing, if you haven't seen it yet, look for my 3-putter challenge video linked in the description below so that you can see Sean and I use the Aviar and 2 other putters in 3 different challenges. One of them an Aviar only challenge. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.